this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. I am super excited today because the topic of today's show it is how to become more financially intelligent and productive, keeping your plan on top of the game. Yes, this morning we're going to be learning a lot with the amazing guest that we have, that it is, Randy Persad, amazing financial advisor. And we're going to be talking about your emergency funds, personal, business, keep planning for your future, how you can keep building wealth, and how you can become more smart, more intelligent, especially in these times of crisis where I know everybody, we're all going crazy. We have so many questions, so many concerns. So right now, it is the time to have somebody like Randy to keep learning and keep growing as human beings, as every single way that we can. So let's welcome to Morning Coffee with Elio for the first time ever, Randy Persad. How you doing, my friend? How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Elio. I'm great. How about you?
I am great as well. I am very, very blessed to have you here. I am very happy that you are here with us, and I am looking forward to to talk about how to become more financially intelligent in times of COVID-19. So, what do you think about this situation right now?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity to be on this platform, be here with you. Such an opportunity, so I really appreciate that. It's truly a unique period of time that we are in right now. Definitely unprecedented. It's unique to see how our nation is responding to it. It's unique to see how the economy is responding to it, our government, and people in general. So at the end of the day, it truly is a unique set of circumstances that our generation and I know many generations have not experienced in any way, shape, or form. So it's definitely caused a lot of panic, a lot of hysteria, and a lot of doubt. So definitely unprecedented.
That is awesome. So, what would you be? How would you advise our audience, our morning coffee community that is watching us right now, how to be more intelligent in times of COVID-19?
I think what's important is when you look at any type of economic downturn or any type of situation that creates uncertainty or creates any kind of scarcity, it's best to lead with a plan, right? And so let's say, for example, if I were going to take off from Gainesville, Florida to go to New York, not that I want to go there right now, but let's just say I'm going to New York, the best way to get there, the most efficient way to get there is probably with a GPS, right? And so with that, a GPS will help identify your main roads, back roads, detours, things like that. And so when you look at it in the financial perspective, a GPS for your finances is a written, documented financial plan. And the financial plan can help tell a lot of things about what you need to have happen. But especially the plan should speak to your goals, your objectives, things you want to accomplish. And we break the goals up into short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. In addition to that, it should help address different things like risk, having a proper savings account or emergency fund, however big you want that to be. Some people think it should be 3 to 6 months. Other people feel more comfortable with 6 to 12 months. But the main thing to understand is when times like these happen, believe it or not, they're buying opportunities. Because especially in the financial markets, certain things become cheap. And the objective of the game long term is to buy low and sell high. And so when you have a written financial plan that'll help execute on the amount of money you should be saving, the amount of money you should be investing, the amount of money you should keep as a reserve, and then, if you are a business owner or something like that, how much you should have in reserves for the business, right? Your operating account or other reserves on the side. So the main thing to speak to that is when times like these happen, what do we have that's liquid? What do we have that can guide us through some of these uncertain times.
That is amazing. I remember we had this I will say very productive conversation, and I thank you for that. You gave me a very good advice once, and it was like when you have your money, it's like your eggs. It's been said that you don't put all the eggs in the same basket. So what you are trying to do, you spread the eggs in different baskets so they can grow in many different ways. Actually, I follow up with that advice of you, and for me, it's been great. I gotta thank you for that. And I will, if you could explain to our community more about that. What is for you to spread the eggs, your wealth in different baskets so they can grow?
Absolutely. So I look at it in the sense of not really opinion, because when you look at an opinion, it could be swayed a certain way based off of how someone thinks, their environment, what they believe philosophically, right? So what I like to tie it back to is just math and the logical side of things, right? And so when you look at that from a 10,000 foot view, we believe you should be diversified in a few different ways. The first is tax diversification. What do you have that's growing tax sheltered, right? That later can be pulled out tax sheltered or tax free. The other bucket will be what do you have that's tax deferred and then tax deductible, meaning you get a tax deduction on it today, and then later on, it's going to grow tax deferred, but when you pull it out, you're going to be paying income tax in the future at whatever that rate is in the future. The other bucket that we look at is the taxable bucket, right? And that basically is a more of a liquid type of bucket of money that grows as well. And when you take money out of the short term, you would pay a tax on it, but it's a shorter term tax. And so the main thing to understand is, as far as diversification goes, to have as many different buckets available to you as possible, because it also speaks to time. And the second level of diversification after tax is time. What monies do I have that's short term? And by short term, meaning I can use within 6 months to 2 years. Some people call it a reserve. Some people call it a safety net. Some people call it a emergency fund. Well, whatever your meaning of it, the main thing is it liquid? Can I put my hands on it? And especially in times when the market goes down, I want to technically go after those monies and use those monies. Because if I use my money that's tied to the market, then I take money out of my market tied asset that's going down, and I lock in that loss because I don't give that money the opportunity to rebound and participate in the market when it goes back up. So having that reserve is important, that short-term reserve. The second is your midterm. So when you look at that from that standpoint, you're looking at monies that are good between 5 years, 10 years, sometimes a little bit longer. But those are midterm dollars that we know that we don't need liquid right away, that we know that we could put away for the future. Or a buying opportunity, maybe a home purchase or something with a business move, something like that, or a bigger type of purchase. And the third set of monies, you've got long-term monies, and they're also tied into that is retirement dollars. So there are certain dollars that you have that are retirement monies that you can't touch until 59 and a half. There are other dollars that are long-term, right, that technically go as long as retirement monies, but if you need to access them earlier than retirement, you're not hit too much with penalties and things like that. And when you look at what's happening right now because of the COVID-19, we are having one of the rules that they've enforced is that if you have any type of qualified plan monies, you're able to pull the money out pre-59 and a half and not be subject to the 10% early withdrawal penalty. It's still going to count as ordinary income, but at least you have access to it. You're not going to be charged that 10%. The other unique thing about it is that you have up to 3 years to be able to pay it back, so that's going to be good. Another example of that retirement money or qualified plan money is your 401k money. The typical loan on a 401k has been capped to 50,000, but because of what's happening with COVID-19, the new cap on a 401k loan is $100,000. Again, you have to worry about the early withdrawal penalty. It would just be recorded as ordinary income taxes based off the monies we withdraw. And so basically when we put together a plan, we want to make sure people understand the short-term bucket of money, the mid-term bucket of money, and the long-term bucket of money that couples with the different retirement needs, goals, objectives, And along with that comes risk. So the third level of diversification is risk. So when you look at it from that standpoint, we want to make sure that we have some monies that are not at risk, some monies that might have a moderate amount of risk, and other monies that we know that are long-term monies that have a significant amount of risk, because that's where we are going to make returns long-term. So those are the three main levels of diversification as we see it.
That's amazing. Now that you're mentioning risk, that is a very important element that I would like to follow up with risk, taking risk, especially in these times. I've been listening to so many concerns, some friends that we have actually in common. They are amazing business owners. They are trying to keep up with with payroll and to keep up with helping their employees. So, what would be your advice if someone asks you, "Hey, Randy, is it a good idea to use my personal savings, personal reserve, okay, emergency funds, to save my business, to pay my employees in case, let's say, I'm using the CARES Act, PPP plan that now the government is doing an amazing job with that, helping businesses. But let's say it is not enough, and you need more, but you are not allowed to borrow more. Would you advise someone that is in need to borrow more money to use their saving plans or their personal reserve to save their business?
That's a great question, and it's such a tough question because it's such a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Some of the business owners I've talked to, they've had to dip into personal reserves. They've had to, and for other business owners, because of the nature of their business, the structure of their business, they don't feel it prudent to tap into the reserves. They'd rather either furlough an employee or cut payroll or try to reallocate some of those employees and then use the PPP in a different way and use some of the provisions of the CARE Act in a different way to be able to try and mitigate the next 8 to 12 weeks.
That is
So where
amazing.
that goes, it's definitely a case by case basis.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that every single case, every single business owner is totally different because it really depends, how much money you have to respond to this situation or how much money you've been investing, and now you are just probably in the situation to borrow more money to go back and pay it off, and then probably keep growing, if it's possible. So yeah, I mean, how someone, let's say you are not a business owner, because there is a lot of people that they are watching us right now on this amazing Monday morning. So my question to you would be, let's say I don't have any business. I just want to start saving in this situation, COVID-19 situation. What would be your best advice, to someone that is looking to save, but they don't have the income?
Sure, sure. So when you look at that, there's a couple different ways to take on it, right? So the main thing, when you look at an environment like this, especially with what happened in the market a week ago and the massive drop that we had, I believe the 52-week high for the market for the overall Dow Jones was somewhere around 29,000 and change. The overall low, I think, was somewhere around 18,200. So a big disparaging amount there. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the reserves are taken care of. So anytime I talk with anyone about any type of financial planning, we go through a budget worksheet first. And what I found is that the most successful people, when it comes to their savings, they adopt the philosophy, they bite the bullet, and they pay themselves first. They create a reserve account or an emergency fund or an nest egg that is 3 to 6 times their monthly expenses, sometimes even out to 12 times. And what we've seen here is a lot of people that are going to weather the storm very, very well. They have good cash reserves. And not just because they have a sustainable business or they've structured it the right way and they've kept expenses and overhead very low, but they've been very disciplined in how they save, what they save, to be able to prepare for times like these. And that's going to be the hardest thing. As long as you have income coming in, whether it be from the CARES Act and some of the income that you'll be receiving from the federal government, whether you're still working and things like that, the main thing is to understand when you go through a budget, what are my needs? What are my wants? What are my essentials? What are my discretionaries? And that's probably one of the main things that I help people with as far as a budget standpoint is understanding the differences between those two. And a lot of times, what I see a lot of people doing is using a lot of times the credit card or the debit card. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but because it's so easy to use that when we go through a budget, you typically see that people are giving away between $300 to $400 a month, sometimes even more, because they're not tracking what they're spending. And so I heard an old adage years ago: that which gets measured gets accomplished. And so, especially when you look at it from a budget standpoint, if you're able to track everything you're spending and seeing exactly where it goes and what it's doing, you're going to have a better accountability over your money to be able to save that reserve, to build that emergency fund, to build that savings account, so that when times like these do happen, you have the opportunity to tap into them, even if you do have a paycheck suspension or something happens with your main place of employment. So that's going to be very important as well, being able to carve out the right amount of money. And a lot of people don't believe that that cash should sit in the bank because it might be very inefficient there. But at the end of the day, in times like these, cash definitely is king.
Yes, I totally agree with you, especially in these times. And now, Randy, how can people get in touch with you? Let's say they want to ask you any question. Of course, if you are watching right now, make any comment below, and Randy and myself, we're gonna get back to you with any question that you may have. Especially, we need to educate ourselves financially now even more, because I think this situation is teaching us all a lot of brand new stuff that we need to keep growing financially and educating ourselves in this topic. But how can people reach out to you?
Absolutely. My office number, 352-377-7577. Great way to get a hold of me. The other opportunities via email, randy.persad@nm.com. The other one, you've got my website up there as well. So Randy Persad at nm.com. So you got that available as well. So, and then reply to the link at the bottom in the podcast. And we'll be happy to answer any questions, meet with anybody, talk about budgets, talk about any type of situation. The main thing is being able to come together. And that's one thing I've seen out of this Gainesville community. And Ilio, I know you know it, but a lot of the business owners we've talked to and had conversations with, and the people I've reached out to on a weekly basis, there's a lot of interesting things going on. There's a lot of noise, a lot of noise. But we've seen some amazing people do some amazing things and come together and really help the community and help people. And at the end of the day, I encourage all of us to get lost in helping other people, because it does so much by way of the community and to help combat what's happening around us.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate you for actually making the time, because I know you have another meeting right after and you have so many things to do, but you made the time to be here with me and with our morning coffee community, our Gainesville community, with the world out there, because we are live worldwide for anybody that enjoy morning coffee with Elio. And to me it is very important that you are here, because I really admire and I appreciate the way how you break down step by step things and how you explain things to clients and to friends. So I think it's very important for anybody that is watching right now, please to take notes. Take notes and ask questions, as many as you wanna. Every time we have a meeting, I know we go over the time, because I have so many questions and I want to keep learning about this financial path that we are all in right now. But let me ask you, Randy, if you have, what books, what methods would you recommend to clients, to friends, to our morning coffee community? Any books?
That's a great question. We've got a lot of good reads out there. And I'm a big fan of The Highly Effective Habits, The 7 Highly Effective Habits by Stephen Covey. That's a great book. Another book that I just recently had access to is The Power of Full Engagement, which talks about managing your energy, not just your time, because we have a lot of great people that have a lot of great energy, great potential energy. And a lot of times they just get bogged down by what's happening around them, and that energy gets diverted. So that's a great book for that. I love John Gordon. John Gordon, two books there, The Prize Fighter Day, and another one I really enjoy is The Energy Bus. I talk about the energy bus a lot, especially as a business owner, because it talks about there you have a bus, right? And there are different people that get on your bus, and some of those people might sit on the right side in the right seat in your bus. Other people might not, and they become energy vampires, and they might be able to unfortunately deter you from what you're trying to accomplish, or the path that you're on. So I think those are really, really important. Those have been good reads for me for sure.
That is amazing. You just mentioned a topic that I love. That is surround yourself with OQP. I have said it and here at the show so many times. You guys make sure you are surrounding yourself with OQP. What is OQP? All right, only quality people. People that they hold you accountable. People that they believed in making your dreams happening. They believe in their dreams, and because they are such an amazing, high achieving people, they want to believe in your dreams too, and they believe that you can do it, that you got what it takes. And the other side of the quarter, it is the toxic, energy draining people. That they don't believe in themselves first of all, so they don't believe in you either, and they want you to believe that your dream is not possible. So that's amazing that you just mentioned that. So we are always saying, surround yourself with OQP, only quality people. And now another book that I really like, it is Millionaire Next Door. Millionaire Next Door. It is an amazing book talking about all the people that they in their head, in their perception, because sometimes perception can be reality, but at the end of the day it is not. So this book is actually telling you that some people, they have these all Lamborghinis and all these cars, and they are pretending, or whatever they want to create, whatever perception they want to create, but they are not. They actually millionaires, right? And this book, actually, just the first 10 pages, it changed my life. How to save, how to be frugal, all right, and all this stuff. So I highly recommend that book as well, to our morning coffee community. And now we're gonna go to a very quick break, and when we come back after a minute, you better stay right there, because I have some questions for you about the stock market. This is Morning Coffee with Elio with the amazing Randy Persad, and we're coming back after the This break. Is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is gonna be a great day. We have a fantastic guest right now, so we are coming back after this break. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. We are here with the amazing Randy Persad, financial advisor, and we are actually talking about this situation with COVID-19, how we can be more intelligent, how we can keep saving, how we can keep developing our personal, our business reserve in times of COVID-19. And this is an amazing time to be talking about this. So now we're going to jump into the stock market. Randy, talk to me about the stock market. What do you think that is happening right now?
The stock market is interesting. And so when you look at everything happening, there's a lot of reactivity to the stock market, and a lot of reactivity to what happened with the stimulus bill, the $2 trillion. A lot of what's happening with a lot of the industries being severely affected by COVID-19, especially hospitality, the restaurant industry, retail being impacted as well. And so to see the hiccup that's happening right now is very interesting, but also to know that it is a hiccup. It will rebound. And that's the funny thing about the stock market. The line from 1930 to present day is up. It's very jagged. It's up. And at the end of the day, the other thing that's hard about the market is it's very hard to time. And so if anyone's ever tried to time the market, and I was guilty of it years and years ago, you just never can do it. It's not a sure thing. So it definitely goes in waves, and it's like the green of a golf course. The undulations and the ups and downs and the angles of it can be very difficult. But at the end of the day, if you have a very secure buy and hold strategy, for example, a lot of people have asked me in the past couple of weeks, should I move this? Should I liquidate? Should I move to cash? And, for my clients that are in retirement and my clients that are 5 years out from retirement, we have a different conversation. But for clients that are 10 plus years out from retirement, 15, 20 plus out from retirement, this is a very good buying opportunity because, again, the objective of the game is to buy low and sell high. And the other thing, too, is when we have tie what's happening in the market back to your financial plan, the other thing that happens is efficiency. So we're trying to help you think at that 10,000-foot level, that institutional level. And if we're able to do that successfully, we don't have to worry about the knee-jerk reactions of what's happening and some of those things that we tend to do on a whim. And so the good thing, too, about when you look at the plan, the objective there is to minimize any kind of long-term regret, but maximize as much as possible safety, security, and efficiency.
That is amazing. I wanted to ask you because I know when you are younger, okay, you can take a higher risk. If it, I mean, related to the stock market, I am talking about. And for example, there is an amazing application that I use that is called Acorn. You know, where you have mutual funds and you can invest. I mean, and you are not taking like a like a high risk because mutual funds and and stocks, they are a little bit different. So can you talk to me about the difference when you are using this type of apps like Acorns and when you are using something a little more aggressive? And what app would you recommend? What is the site, the website that you would recommend people to go in case they want to take a higher risk? Okay.
Sure. So when you look at that, there's a lot of what we call those robo apps out there. There's Robinhood, there's Acorns, there's Stash. A lot of the different brokerage firms have their own platform for that. So the main thing to know there is, unlike the Wolf of Wall Street and of days past, there used to be a period of time where you went to a stockbroker and you said, "Hey, I want to buy Apple or Google, whatever the case might be." There would be a commission involved and then a fee involved, right? And so a lot of times with these brokerage firms, they would get a lot of excess orders and a lot of profitability when you look at it that way. It made, it's very easy now to be able to invest in different companies, mutual funds, things like that. They have things called no-load funds and whatnot that are very efficient to use. So when you talk about people starting off going on those platforms, they're very good because it gets you real-time experience to see how the market is moving. If you put money into this particular fund or an XYZ fund, how it's going to move, how it's going to shift, things like that. So Acorns, Robinhood, Stash, they're very good for that. Very good platforms. And so the main thing that what we try and do is, especially if people want to invest on their own, we want to couple that with a long-term strategy because agree, when you're younger, you should take more risks. And then what we see traditionally is people are young, they take a lot of risk, and then when they're older, their risk starts to go back and decline because they're getting older, they're worried about principal protection. But sometimes, if there's a market correction or a dip or whatever the case might be, people might not have the ability to scale back their risk. They might need to take more risk to make up the difference. So what I typically encourage is, yes, when you're young, take risk. Of course, it makes sense from a time horizon perspective, right? From a liquidity perspective. But it also makes sense that as you're taking that risk, always have that safety net in play. Whether it be a 6-month emergency fund or longer, whether it be a laddered bond fund or something like that to offset some of the risks that if you needed to get at capital for any type of opportunity, you're covered in both ways.
That is amazing. And you are mentioning one thing that is super important. Going back once again, guys, if you are just tuning in about the emergency funds or personal or business reserve, and you just mentioned 6 months. Let's follow up with that really quick. How interesting it is that this situation, all right, this situation of COVID-19, is probably gonna take 6 months. All right, it's been over a month already. We are actually looking at 4 or 6 more weeks. So right now, it is very interesting that you are mentioning like 6 months of personal reserve or emergency funds. So let's say I don't have those 6 months, and I know, for example, for all those that watch the Dave Ramsey show, the amazing show about financial stuff, but when they mention in the baby step system, they only mention to have $1,000. But watch, $1,000 is not going to do much for you, especially in these times. Okay, even though we are actually having the CARES Act plan. So how people can actually keep the economy, their personal economy flowing, and let's say like survive. Let's put in, we are now in a survive mode, because if you don't have those 6 months, all right, 6 months on personal reserve, if you don't have it ready yet, so this situation is going to teach you, it's going to show you why that's important. You just mentioned that, and I think it's a great element, is key element to understand why we need to have those 6 months as an emergency plan. And for those people that they don't have it, so what would be a good exit for them? What would you say for those people that they don't have those 6 months emergency plan?
Yeah, so it takes discipline, right? It takes discipline, absolutely. And so a lot of times, like I alluded to earlier, when we're going through the budgets with people, we want to, and again, here's the other thing too. We don't want people to be handcuffed to their money. Not at all. You want to be able to use money as that medium or as that conduit to do the things that you want to do, need to do, or strive to do, right? And so the main thing is being disciplined with that. When you look at what's happening right now and people that don't have a strong emergency fund might do is go through your budget. Go through your monthly amounts, whether you rent or you have a mortgage. We know that because of the different things happening with COVID-19 and some of the laws being loosened with the CARE Act, you have the opportunity now to contact a mortgage company and say, can I defer my mortgage? You have the opportunity to maybe call a credit card company and maybe ask for deferment or ask for a delayed payment, whatever the case might be. Obviously, based off of what the federal government would say is they want companies to be looser. They want them to be more forgiving, operate with a little bit more grace. We're not sure if that's going to happen. But the main thing there is this is a great time, like you mentioned, to look at your budget, to dial down, to figure out what essentials are, to figure out what the discretionary is. And for a lot of people, when I ask this question, Ilya, I don't know if you remember when I asked you this question, how much you think you should set aside for savings every year. The typical number I get is between 5 and 10%. And it's amazing because that number should be closer to 15 to 20% for reasons like this. And the other thing is Ernst & Young is a national accounting firm. They came out with a great white paper years ago, I believe in 2016, that talked about when someone hits retirement, it's good to have 3 to 5 years worth of cash reserve, because typically the market goes down 25% of the time, or once out of every 4 years, right? And so when you're in retirement and we don't have as much earned income, the opportunity there is to be able to have that cash, because when the market goes down, we don't want to be pulling from our market-tied assets that are going down. So from there, it's a really good opportunity. But for most people, for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense to keep 3 to 5 years worth of cash in the bank. So that's where we have to get creative, think outside the box, and figure out some alternatives to keep cash or cash-like assets that are liquid, credit protected, can go backwards, tax sheltered in that time that we can use going back to the short term, the midterm, and especially the long term. But at the end of the day, if anything COVID-19 has taught us is to go back to the basics, go back to our budget, make sure that our savings is in line with where it needs to be for any type of emergency. And especially if you have a household income where you have 2 people that have a W-2 income, 3 to 6 months of income should be fine. If you have a type of household where someone maybe is a business owner or maybe on commission or is on a fee-based or independent contractor, 6 to 9 months might be more adequate, or maybe even 12 months. At the end of the day, the number isn't right or wrong until you compare it to what you would have happened in this type of situation.
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you for that. So let me ask you. This is going to be a tough question. All right, just be prepared. So, let's say I already asked you if someone need to use their saving, but what about if someone, let's say a business owner, small business owner, they are trying to use their 401k to save their business, but they are not in the time, they are not allowed to use it yet, but if they apply, they probably can get approved. would you advise to someone in this situation to use their 401k retirement plan to save their business? What do you think?
Elio, that is a tough question. And
I know.
at the end of the day, and this is why liquidity is an important need, no matter what market we're in, because of what happened in the financial collapse 2008, 2009, people that had things that were liquid, had cash, they came out very well because they bought things cheap. So, if anything, that moment has taught us, and sometimes we have short-term memory loss. This COVID-19 epidemic is pandemic is going to teach us the same. Uh, if there are no liquid reserves, if operating accounts have been exhausted, if everything else had a last reserve, if it makes sense to go into the 401k at a last resort moment, I've known some business owners that had to do that. And as long as they know that they're not going to be charged with the 10% early withdrawal penalty, they're going to be hit with ordinary income tax at the end of the year when they file their taxes. And the other good thing to know is that they'll be able to pay that back within 3 years. If that is a viable opportunity and it makes sense, and they've spoken with their financial professional, they've spoken with their financial advisor, they've spoken with their CPA, and all those things align, then if that's the ace up the sleeve, then that's what we're going to use.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, I really appreciate how you support your clients, how you support your answers by all the time giving the option to think if that made sense or not. If that is what you really want to be doing to take that high risk to be able to save your basically your business. You know, at the end of the day, I know so many business owners, so many people out there that they're having struggles and problems. And right now, there is no up. Everything is down. All right, that it used to be upside. I mean, ups and down. But right now, we are in a situation where this is a big, I would say, like a big down situation. It's very bad, and we need to analyze and think about what is the best move. And that's why I'm asking you all these tough questions, because I think if you are a business owner, if you or you have a friend that is your business owner, or your family, anybody is like me. I am a business owner, but my business is totally different because I work with people that they are self-contractors. I don't have employees, so I only use 1099s and stuff like that. But if you have like over 35 employees and you are behind on your payroll, on your taxes, it is way more complicated than that.
Right.
So I think actually we just had Luis Salazar. We talk about the CARES Act plan program where they have the PPP plan, and I asked a question that if that's going to be enough. Let's say if they want to use it to not only pay the payroll, the employees payroll, but also to invest. They say no. Of course, it's not going to be enough. So that's why my question about, let's say you want to keep growing, you want to keep investing, you want to keep moving forward. Will you use your 401k? Will you use your personal saving? To be honest, personally, I wouldn't use my 401k because we need to make sure that we keep growing that. I mean, at least at this point, I will use if I can use my personal saving, this is hypothetically, right? If I can use my personal savings to save my business, I would do it. But I am very glad that I asked you that question, because I am asking questions that I am learning a lot, listening to your answers today. So is there anything else that you will say to our community? Anything else that you would like to say to our people that are watching? I know we have only 4 more minutes because I know you have a meeting. But what would you say to our community that they are desperate for information, desperate for financial education, and they need to know some words of I will say some words from somebody like you, that you are an expert on this field. What would you say to our community in this situation?
You know what? That is a great question, and I'm thinking about the conversations I've had with my clients over the past 2 weeks. And the main thing that I've tried to be is a voice of reason. And again, like we talked about before, you mentioned it. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of things happening. But at the end of the day, if we pull together, if we come together, and we approach this on a united front, this too shall pass. It's just a matter of time, right? And time The only thing that we really can't predict, right, is like the great Dr. Fauci says, we don't create the timeline, the virus does. And so when you look at that from a 10,000 foot view, the main thing I want my clients to be rest assured in is when you look at the different levels of financial planning, right? The different phases. We want to mitigate any type of risk. Make sure your risk management is in play, right? Make sure those basic things are in play to protect yourself, protect your paycheck, protect your income, protect your assets, protect your family, whatever the case might be. And from that, we want to make sure that if there are things that we have that are accumulating wealth or building wealth, we want to make sure that those things are positioned to capitalize on what's happening now and the drop in the market over the past couple of weeks. Are we positioned to do that? And the other thing is understanding that if we have that written financial plan, that plan is going to serve as that roadmap to help dictate what we need to do and when we need to do it, and not just have to worry about our behavioral reaction to it and our knee-jerk reaction to it. And so tied in with that plan is our budget. If we can be more essential with our budget, if we can be more laser focused with our budget, that's going to help as well. But at the end of the day, just want to be an encouraging voice, want to be a resource just to anyone out there. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. We just have to be patient, and again, it's not in our timing at all. But if we stick together, if we continue to learn, if we continue to be positive, we'll get through it for sure.
You are awesome, brother. Thank you very much for your time, for sharing your knowledge, for sharing all those thoughts of you about this situation, about how to become more intelligent, more, I will say, how to move, wisely and take good decisions in times of COVID-19. It is a situation where we need to actually be surrounded by people like you. Like, we can keep learning and growing and asking questions, and so we can take actually the right direction for ourselves, for our families, and keep helping our community, our country, the world. I have friends all over the world that actually I'm about to have a friend of mine from Spain. We're going to be talking on the show. We're going to be talking about all the situation in Spain. But before you go, I want to thank you so much for making the time, for being here with me. You are awesome. And once again, guys, if you're watching, this is Randy Persad, financial advisor. Go to his website. I'm going to put it up once again. This is his website, and on his website, you can find his telephone numbers, his email, all the information that you may need, and you're going to get that answer to your question, the answer that you need. Thank you, Randy. We're gonna go to a quick break, guys, and we are coming back in just a minute. Let's enjoy our platinum sponsors. All right, guys, welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. I am super excited to be here, and I would like to say hello to my sponsor, my amazing sponsor. So we are seeing Siba Range, a beautiful wedding venue for also corporate events. We have Gainesville Country Club. If you are into golf, Gainesville Country Club, they are the place for you. Ravel Realty Group, they are fantastic. If you are looking to buy or sell your house, and after you stop by Ravel Realty Group, think Cabrera, Union Home Mortgage, your best mortgage company. You talk to them right now. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the official coffee of Morning Coffee with Elio. I love them so much. Mi Apa, thank you for everything that you guys been doing for this community. Automotive service and maintenance and repair. Tommy's Auto Works. They have the answer to your question. Tommy's Auto Works, they are fantastic. We'll keep going with Kicks Dog Pediatrics. They treat my baby, my Bella. I always say that because they treat you like family. They are amazing. And PT Solution, General Residential and Commercial Maintenance. PT Solution has been helping this community tremendously. They are amazing. Beneauro, the number one dealer of used cars in North Central Florida, and the best restoration master of disaster. You have the number right there. And we have Beautiful Gardens of Florida. You have the 352-301-2688. They're going to make your garden look beautiful. Podcast Central, it is the official partner and official co-producer of Morning Coffee with Elliot. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing. We have Anno Insurance for all Floridian auto and home insurance. So reach out to them. Meldon Law, you matter most. Dial pound hurt if you get into an accident or any friend of yours. They are amazing. Charco Grill, they say they have the best carne asada in town. Charco Grill. And CC Accounting. CC Accounting, they are amazing. Our accountants, they are going to take care of you. This is tax season. Make sure you call them. Gonzalo Law is a U.S. and international corporate law. Gonzalo Law, they are fantastic. And if you enjoy the intro, all the commercial that we have here, Rutex Videography Services, Rutex, they did our amazing intro with my baby Bella Ona and my family. Yago 777, construction, drywall, and framing, they are fantastic. And we have BPO, Chop the Line. They are going to help you to skip the line when you go to any restaurant or any games at University of Florida. Expand and grow your business. Advertise with Morning Coffee with Elliot. We have Motory Group, another great car dealer, used cars. Yes, in Alachua and in Gainesville as well. And we go back to C-Bar Range. It's an amazing venue for wedding and corporate events. Oh my gosh, we have an amazing sponsor family. And I want to say thank you to our sponsor for keep supporting, for being there, for stay there with us, supporting us all the time, every single day in, day out, every single week, especially in this situation. Our sponsors are right there with us, supporting the show, so we can actually keep bringing amazing information to you, amazing stories, especially in these times that we need it the most. We all need it the most. And right now we are getting close to the end of the show, but now before we let you know that we are about to actually run. Before our outro, we're about to run the commercials of TV20 where you actually can get the information. Let's say if you are a restaurant, if you're a business owner, if you have any business and you would like to get promotion, free promotion, advertisement, with we have four local stations. One of them is TV20. If you would like to get free advertisement on these local stations, just reach out to the information that you are about to see on the screen. We're about to run the commercial, so make sure that you are grabbing like a pencil and with your notebook or just a piece of paper, and write the email down, and also the telephone number where you can call if you want to advertise your business. It doesn't matter if it's a restaurant, a food truck, whatever you have that you would like to advertise, you can do it. And this has been possible. It's made possible in a huge part by the best restoration master of disaster, by Jorge Villalobos. George Villalobos, thank you very much for making this happen for our community, for our people, for our country, because you are supporting tremendously our economy in these times of COVID-19. So guys, if you have any question, make a comment below. I gotta tell you, I also have this information to share on the screen. Advertise and grow with us. 352-327-5089. If you would like to grow your business, to take your business, your goals, your dreams to the next level, we're gonna help you as much as we can. And another news, I have some news for you. We're about to launch a program. Yes, a program in partnership with Podcast Central. We want to show you how you can create your own show, have your own show, a show like this, to reach more clients, to reach more customers, to reach all the digital platforms and take your business to the next level. This is the new age. This is the age where we need to start spending ourselves instead of start thinking how we can, how we can quit. No, we don't quit. We don't quit. Let me tell you, these are the times where we need to keep growing, keep learning, we need to stay with that hunger that we have within us. I am telling you, we're about to launch a program, to release a program in few weeks that you are going to be amazed. You can do more than you can ever begin to imagine, and this program is going to show you that, and it's going to help you to take your business to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, you better stay tuned. Make a comment below if you want to learn more about this program. But I am super excited. I am super excited, and I feel so good about this because we're going to be able to help so many people with this program. And you would like to sign up for the program, let me know. We're going to teach you how to create a podcast. We're going to help you produce your own show. We're going to help you to keep growing and keep moving forward. You know why? Because you got what it takes. We got what it takes. We got this. At the end of the day, it's just about, you just heard Randy. We gotta be laser focused. We gotta keep developing ourselves. We need to keep learning and growing and moving on because we got what it takes. It is simple as that. So if you would like to learn more about it, I am telling you, Morning Coffee with Elio in partnership with Podcast Central. We wanna help you. We are going to help you. And what is coming up on the show? Well, we are going to have some friends live from Spain. Yeah, on the show, live from Spain, coming up on camera. We're gonna be talking about all the situation, what is happening right now in Spain and Italy and Europe in general. If it's true what the news are talking about Europe, or if it's wrong, or everything. We're gonna be talking about everything. What is the economic situation? How are they dealing with this? This is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Also, we're going to have this coming Wednesday in 2 days. Yes, this coming Wednesday we're going to have Luban Mesa, another amazing musician, talking about how is it that you can be touring the world with big artists such as Oscar de Leon, like Luis Enrique, and all these people, like amazing artists. And then you are stuck now in your house. How are you making a living, playing music and producing and doing all of these amazing things? This is coming up this Wednesday in 2 days. Going back to our program, you would like to sign up for this program that we're going to take your business to the next level. This content creator business accelerator. Let me know. Make a comment below. What do you think? And right now, I am telling you, we are ending the show, but stay right there because we are about to share the information that you need to know. All right, the information that you need to write down. That is to be on TV with our 4 local stations. This information is priceless. It is super good. So please stay right there because you don't wanna miss this.
CBS4 presents this community info update to let you know which restaurants are still open and what services they are providing. This community information update is made possible in part by The Best Restoration, Masters of Disasters. As we all go through this difficult time, we must reach out and help each other. CBS4 would like to lend a helping hand. If you own or operate a local restaurant with takeout or delivery options and would like to let the community know, please email your logo and information about your restaurant services to comments@mycbs4.com. CBS4 will air announcements on all 4 of our stations, letting those who are homebound know that you are open for business. CBS4, stronger together. This community information update is made possible in part by The Best Restoration, Masters of Disasters.
Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.